Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bengal Tiger Podcast. I'm Matthew Bruni, joined once again Shay Dixon. Shay, we are in the press box after LSU's thrilling 29-26 win over Ole Miss.
They finally cleared the field.
They've cleared the field.
It's been over an hour, and they finally cleared the field.
They cleared the field. LSU wins in overtime. An absolute thriller. To me, it feels like that Alabama game a couple years ago. Different, but similar feeling. You go ahead.
Well, I mean, what did I write in my prediction piece for this? That going into the season, Ole Miss built a roster to make the playoffs and compete for a national championship this year.
Yep.
LSU was taking a different approach of not going all in on NIL and building a team with freshmen, a team that you develop guys, and this. We thought Ole Miss before the season would beat LSU.
Yes.
I picked them to, and a lot of people thought it would be
More
by
talent,
a big gap. And in the first half, you can just forget about. It was so weird. Nuss didn't play great for the whole game until he's playing out of his mind in the final fourth quarter. But what I wrote in the predictions was Tiger Stadium magic, and this is 100 years of Tiger Stadium on homecoming. On the night they officially celebrate 100 years of Tiger Stadium, with all the former players back, with Flynn and Warren Rabb and Insminger as guest captains, you're going to OT and you're winning on a walk-off.
Yeah, it can't be described as anything else other than Tiger Stadium. I mean, Death Valley. This is. I was telling you in the press box, I thought this game was somewhat over. I posted this on the board. I didn't think the offense had any answers. They were down 3. Multiple weapons on the outside. The offensive line I thought played well, but they couldn't run the ball. Nussmeier was clearly hesitant and either not seeing the field well or just uncomfortable. But Ole Miss felt like they were dictating it, but it was LSU's defense that came through time and time again. Real quick, you did mention the first half, and that's really, I think, what won them the game is staying in it when Ole Miss, seemed like they were about to land haymaker after haymaker. Trey Harris drop, missed field goal. They get the stop on 4th and 1 inside the 5. Those things kept them in the game. And then the second half, it was kind of more of the same. The defense continued to make play after play, and you're like, can the offense do anything? Last possession, they go down, score a touchdown, convert 2 fourth downs. Incredible.
That fourth down play, season on the line.
Yep.
And you convert that one. Then another fourth down, not, season game, but, the pursuit of
a playoff.
A playoff and not losing more than 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
The risk, if you lost this, the margin of error was so thin. You couldn't lose again, basically. And you convert not 1 but 2 fourth downs on that drive when you get the ball with 3 minutes left. After you had gone missed field goal, pick, punt.
Yep.
And then you get the ball with 3 minutes left, and you convert a fourth down in your own end zone, basically, a fourth down on the other side, and not just convert a fourth, but he hit him on a
which one?
On the
game
one
winner?
that sent it to OT.
Yeah, it was 23
yards to Aaron Anderson with 27 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then you get to OT, and Brian Kelly, instead of going for 2, says something we didn't think at all going into this game was that I trust the defense.
Yes.
And the Tiger Stadium crowd backed him up with false starts. The defense stepped up, made stops. Whit Weeks had an insane PBU on an 18-tackle night.
Yeah.
Shout out to, and let's just even, his name is C. Davis, so I wonder, let me give him, he deserves this, his full name, Ole Miss's kicker.
Oh, my gosh. It's a 57-yarder. I thought the game was over, I'm not going to lie. When they had to kick a 57-yard field goal.
No, I told you it's not over. It's Tiger Stadium.
There's no way.
Caden Davis
hit
a 57-yarder.
Yeah.
On what should be if you're kicking a field goal in OT, it's 30-something yards.
Yeah.
It's
from the 25,
you start
maybe a 42
from the 25. They went back so far that you were shocked they were even going to try to kick it.
I was just a freaking Hail Mary at this point.
But I was like, nah, look, then LSU can just kick a field goal and be easy. 57 yards, but
unbelievable.
1 play later,
Kyron Lacey.
A perfect pump to kind of catch him off for Nuss. Places it in the perfect spot for Lacey to be the only one to see it stop. Your best receiver made a play. And what did Brian Kelly say right after halftime? I was listening to the ESPN broadcast in my ear while I was in the press box, and I said, looked at Matty B. I said, BK just said that they're only going to win this game if somebody steps up and makes a play. And Nuss certainly did throwing football, but Aaron Anderson did, and then Lacey did.
Those are the two. I mean, we knew without C.J. Daniels, Kyle Parker.
There's a lot of Xavier Thomas tonight.
Xavier Thomas, hit or miss.
Well, and they're not going to be on the same page.
Yes.
At this volume, because he doesn't get used like that one.
Yeah, so again, they needed someone to step up. Anderson makes a play. Lacey makes a play. Taylor makes a few plays. I thought he was awesome. Nussmeier continues to put some.
It was Nuss's worst game of his 7 starts, and no one is going to go. And Matty B drives the Nuss bus.
Correct.
So he'll even admit this. But look, we can easily say that this was Nuss's worst game.
Yeah. Since
he's been starting, but he started 7 times, and in 7 starts, you're eventually going to have a bad game. You can't be great every time, and to win that game, like your worst game, and to do it by Nuss driving them down at the end and coming up clutch was massive. But shout out Nuss, Aaron Anderson, and Lacey made the game-winning and game-tying touchdowns. O-line blocked well enough tonight, obviously.
Yep.
They got sparks here and there, but we have to just say the defense won this football game. This was an Ole Miss team that they put up 1,000 points and 2,000 yards on them last year. Like, we thought that might happen again. We said we liked the under, but we said, in the back of your head, Ole Miss could probably just run up and down.
Kiffin,
and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. LSU was dialed in all night on D.
Yeah, especially after like I said, the first possession or two where they kind of got bailed out. But I mean, it did just the way they closed the game. I was waiting for the backbreaker. I was waiting for the offense punts again or an interception. Like, you can't keep doing it, and they did. They just kept coming up with stops. I was so impressed by not letting them get in the end zone. I mean, their last touchdown was 5 minutes left in the
5 minutes left in the second quarter. Well, I guess that's when it started.
40,
2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
They had a touchdown.
No touchdowns in the second half or overtime.
From there, they fumble right before half. Then they have to kneel it out. Then they punt, field goal, pick, punt, field goal. Then end up giving up the game-tying touchdown. They throw the Hail Mary, you go right into overtime, kick the 57-yard field goal after going completely backwards because of the defense and the crowd. That's as good as it gets. I mean, they went into overtime with Ole Miss and held them to 26 points.
Which is incredible. Blake Baker, that's an incredible coaching job.
And he was up and down the sideline all night, just every play.
He had Lane Kiffin completely figured out.
But remember, at Missouri, he fell victim to what LSU did last year. They just went on a boat race against each other, and at the end of the day, the defense couldn't stop them enough. And I think that's what we take away from tonight. The magic of Tiger Stadium, all that. If you were here, you'll talk about it forever. It was one of those types of games. You beat Ole Miss, and they're a top 10 team. This is a really good win and keeps you alive.
Yep.
But the keeping you alive part, I don't think that this is what I'm taking away. There's a better chance that this defense continues to improve and look good than Nussmeier regresses from where he was.
Yeah.
I think this is a burn the tape for Nuss.
43% of his passes or whatever it is.
Minus his final couple drives and some plays in there. But the final hour of the game, let's say, Nuss really turned up.
Yeah.
But the defense, I truly believe we are getting better.
I agree 100%. That's
without
positive.
Harold Perkins.
That's the biggest positive. Yeah.
There's no Harold Perkins.
It is. And Major Burns stepped up, blitzed. I think a lot of it was a product of Blake Baker knowing exactly what to do, but Major Burns steps up. Whit Weeks obviously steps up. I mean, the defensive line was really good.
You've got kids out there like P.J. Woodland when a true freshman gets a chance as a Mississippi native and makes a pass breakup that helps swing the game.
Yeah, Zai, P.J., Ashton did his best out there. I mean, this is what they have. We know what they have.
Ashton had a great PBU.
Yeah, we know what they have. Blake Baker has dialed it up and has them playing at a really high level right now. So
they held Jackson Dart to under 300 yards passing in an overtime game. You said they couldn't let him run the ball. LSU didn't run the ball well tonight, 84 yards. Hell, Nuss got a good bit of those. But you said one key was LSU had to stop Ole Miss's run. And even on a night where they almost ran for 200, LSU won the game.
Yeah. I think, them not having, Trey Harris leaves the game. That was more fortune for LSU there. But, yeah, the defense was incredible. I don't have too much else here without going, super long, but
No.
the
Look,
offense
hey,
was.
turnovers too.
I mean, that's just.
Both teams had turnovers.
Oh, I'll tell you the biggest
and Ole
difference.
Miss.
You want to know the biggest difference of the game to me? Well, not the biggest difference, but one of the differences, which I wrote in my preview, penalties. Go look up the penalties on a comparison at the top. I believe it's 12-6, and Ole Miss ended with somewhere around 100.
12-6, 110 yards. In
Yep,
penalties
110
for Ole Miss.
yards, and some of them were fairly costly.
But also, both teams turned it over once, but LSU gave up no points off the turnovers. Ole Miss gave up 3, which was the fumble and then the field goal.
Wait, Nussmeier had 2 picks.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Ole Miss had 2 turnovers, but only Ole Miss's turnover led to 80 points, and it was that field goal, and they win by 3.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. What a win. What a performance. Gutsy. That's how I would describe it. This was a game I did not think they had any business winning in the fourth quarter. They come out just gutsy win. Complete buy-in from the players. Brian Kelly, Blake Baker, Joe Sloan. I mean, everybody. Complete buy-in to not give up, to not fold, and to ride it out.
Kyron Lacey was 16 targets. And Braden Swinson is a top 3 player on this football team.
He's awesome. Phenomenal. Yes. So.
Feel better about LSU right now.
Yep. It's gonna be
every single game is a fight.
Every game will be a fight the rest of the way.
But now we've seen at South Carolina and in this game that they fight to the end. It's into the very end.
Hey, if they keep finding a way,
they'd be undefeated had USC not found a way with 8 seconds left in that game.
Yeah.
They're 8 seconds left away from being undefeated with a team that we're like
we're not sure how good
they're going to be better in future years. This isn't it.
Yeah. So.
But here you are at mid-season with 1 loss.
Yeah. Great win. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody who was here.
Yeah, post your favorite memory from the game moment below, because this will be one that everyone talks about for a while.
Man, what a game. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. Leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Bengal Tiger On3 for all of the latest interviews, recaps, everything. So, we'll be back later this week to talk about the game even more. So check us out over there, and we will talk to y'all later.